Alright guys, what's happening? Today, wait, I need to mute the freaking audio of this game first. But first subscribe, man! Subscribe! We talking Kakashi today, boy. We talking about Kakashi, the almighty, the great Kakashi, bro. I love Kakashi. I hope you love Kakashi. One of my favorite anime characters of all time. Easily one of my favorite characters of anime of all time. Like, he's just phenomenal. He's phenomenal. So, gameplay music volume, no music. I want no music in this game because these bitches be copyrighted like crazy. That's why I have menu music off and shit. Alright, so, you know, Kakashi, bro. So, what my problem with part 1 Kakashi is that he's too weak overall. He's extremely fucking weak overall. And it's frustrating because in part 2, we see how strong the dude actually is. And it's night and day. It's like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? How is this man struggling this difficult? Just like, you know, a few years ago, and he's already at the age where improvement isn't that much left. You know, he doesn't have that much improvement he can make. Excuse me. And him not discovering his goddamn Mangekyo for that long is a bit, it's a bit shaky as well. It's like, how did he not discover this a little bit earlier? Because he doesn't know that Obito is alive until yonkers after that. You know what I'm saying? He's already discovered his Mangekyo. But I suppose not a lot of people know about the Mangekyo, so I suppose it does make sense. Actually, I'm tripping on that. It does make sense because only the few of the rarest Uchihas have that shit. Canonically, I think we only know 5 to 6 people that's ever had the Mangekyo. So, you know, I think it's reasonable that him being a non-Uchiha would never have heard of this Mangekyo Sharingan fiasco, right? So I think that's fine, but his strength level is still ridiculously low in part 1. I think he's fine against Zabuza for the most part, but overall I don't think he does as good as he should have done. Obviously he has to be in that water trap thingy for Yonkers to let the kid shine or whatever, but he kind of feels like how they're doing Konohamaru now, but obviously Konohamaru is even more useless than that, which is wow. Kakashi still managed to be useful in a lot of part 1, so he gets away with it, but if you compare him to part 2 Kakashi, it is night and day. It's not even close. So, and I think that's my problem. I think the power should not have changed that much. Guy, for example, even though we discover more about him in part 2, he never really struggles in part 1. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get bitch slapped by Itachi with such ease. You know what I'm saying? He never even gets caught in a Genjutsu because my dude built different. And then we had Kurenai trying to do a goddamn Genjutsu out of the Uchiha. That's still one of the funniest shits I've ever witnessed in life. Like, just imagine, like, what? You're trying to do a Genjutsu on Uchiha. We know that what's his name? Kabuto tried it too on Itachi and Sasuke, but at least he's one. It was a different type of Genjutsu. It wasn't eyes versus eyes. When we know canonically that the Uchiha's eyes is just too goddamn powerful. I'm getting off topic a little bit. Maybe it's because I'm playing FIFA at the same time, but I know I kind of like this. Damn, I got mollywop. But overall, part 1 Kakashi, at least we can all agree, is a little underwhelming. He's nowhere near War Arc Kakashi. That's a whole different fiasco. Now, if I said the title is how I would fix Kakashi, so I'm gonna let you know how I would fix him. So I would it's okay if we keep his power levels like those, but we explain that he himself and him kind of wanting to die is the reason why he wasn't that strong in part 1, because after losing his friends, he didn't really want to live, and he was kind of on a suicide path. So, you know, this is post Rinsdead, etc., because, you know, he was in an ambush before he joined Team 7 in the first place. So was it Team 7 as well? I can't remember. But before he joined Minato's team, he was Ambu already, etc., etc., and they put him in Team 7 in order to humanize him a little bit and to let him use teamwork, and where he learned about, not accomplishing a mission is a scum or whatever. Abandoning your mission is a scum. You're a scum if you abandon your mission, but what's worse than a scum is abandoning your friends. And because he hated his dad for being ridiculed and committing suicide and leaving him alone, because he decided to save his friends instead of finishing the mission. And obviously even the friends he saved ended up ridiculing him, which is, it's the ninja world, so it makes sense that it happened. And I think it's a great thing that they had to happen before the war arc, because it kind of shows him releasing all this tension and him becoming like a billion times stronger in the war arc, because I think it's like some of these burdens have weighed him down. But I also feel like they could have done that with Rin and Obito, and how them dying actually made him think, damn, I don't really want to live either. And so in certain situations he never went all out, because he was kind of hoping to die anyway. So it was like a mental blockage where his stamina was so low. It was a mental blockage that he wasn't seemingly as powerful. And this is why I think the whole him being scared of Orochimaru should have been gone, because I think he should have been embraced that and almost be like, well, if I die against him, at least I have a great excuse that I died against a top guy. And look, I didn't abandon my mission, I didn't do none of that shit, blah 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 blah. Him being scared of Orochimaru makes no sense, because onwards he's not scared of pain, he's not scared of nothing. Like, so, and as a ninja especially, it's just weird like that he's fearing Orochimaru in the first place. It was just a strange thing to have. I think Sasuke fearing Itachi makes sense because of him massacring his whole fucking clan. Although he didn't know at the time that he had Obito with him to do most of the heavy lifting. But it does make sense that this is what how Sasuke would feel. But to me, it still doesn't make sense that Kakashi, of all people, an Ambu, cold-hearted killer, at one point would fear anybody, especially if it means bringing him closer to death. So, and this is important because I think then you can explain away a lot of things. His stamina issue, well, he wanted to die. He's, you know what I'm saying, him becoming utterly more powerful even before really getting the Mangekyo. Like, you can explain that with, oh, he just, he was holding himself back because he was still mentally mentally blocking himself from his full potential. And I think you could do that a lot only, and I mean only if you absolve the whole fear of Orochimaru, and then you bring that up later in the story, and like, yo, so look, him losing them really hindered him because he was so utterly powerful with them, and he just lost the drive to live. Maybe didn't fully understand if the mission was really worth it after all, etc., etc. Because look, he also killed Rin, and I think that's a scarring thing to happen to him. Obviously he didn't mean to. She jumped in the way of his Kirin or Chidori, so it completely makes sense that it did happen. But simultaneously, I do feel like it's something that would have fixed Kakashi, because it would provide us with a character arc that's more satisfying, and it's not so jumpy or jerky. It felt a bit jerky at times, where it's like, wait, he's OP as fuck here and he's weak as fuck here, and he's just average here, and he's below, I don't want to say below average, it was still a high Jonin level ninja. But in part 1, like, come on, bro, part 1 Kakashi would get mollywopped by part 2 Kakashi without much of breaking a sweat. Like, even when he was fighting what's his name, is the guy with like 5 hearts. Like, that fight was fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he even managed to take out a heart or two. I know Naruto finished it off, but I don't think Naruto gets that opportunity without Kakashi doing most of the heavy lifting. And I always felt like that's how a master student thing should be. The master should do most of the heavy lifting. If you want to give the shine to the student, Naruto in this case, I think it's important that the master looks better than the student at the end of it. If you look at Boruto, the students look way more accomplished than the master, way more useful than the master, way smarter than the master. And it's like, why do they even have a master? The master is a hindrance. The dude is passed out half the damn time. So like, you know, it's like they have to carry this man while protecting themselves and each other. And it's like, how is this possible? So I think just that minute detail in Kakashi's story would fix him and make him an even higher tier character, because I genuinely feel like if they did, you know, put that PTSD aspect of it, in which he already has, but if they explained it and explored it in that manner, I think it would have a hell of a lot more impact for him as a character, rather than, you know, boom, I'm just stronger now because I'm just stronger now. And I think that's kind of the thing with it. How the fuck is this Leo Cooper dude man of the match? I was clearly the best man of the match. Like, what kind of drugs are these coaches on? But yeah, that's really it. I don't really have much else to say. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. What you guys think of Kakashi? How do you guys think Kakashi could have been better? I just think the whole power thing is a bit too all over the place. I think if you have that PTSD thing, it explains away a lot of what happened in part 1. Redcon, that's the word I was thinking of. It retcons a lot of what was happening in part 1 cleanly, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh shit, this is why in part 1 at times he wasn't that powerful, you know what I'm saying? And he took moments of his students being in danger, or certain moments that he pushed him through it, because ultimately he just wanted to kill himself and he didn't want to live anymore. And you know, we kind of get a hint of that when his romance arc, and how he likes this girl but she's a criminal, and at the end of the day his duty as a ninja comes first. And you know, that's kind of what's kept him going this whole time. So I think that's something worth looking at. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm out.